Hi everybody, welcome to the Astrology Chat for April 26, 2027. So the keys for today are to allow yourself to take a higher view philosophically, intellectually, and emotionally with the things that are happening around you today. It's going to be very important to continue to allow yourself to integrate who you are on all of these different levels from a place of understanding and love and grace, and not from a place of reactionary energy, especially since there's a lot of that in the air right now. So allow yourself to breathe and look for the long view distance and strategize around where you want to be 3 years, 5 years from now. And let that really influence how you move right now. And I say this because we continue to have the moon in Sagittarius. The moon in Sagittarius is about high mind philosophy and law. This is the house ruled by Jupiter. So there is this energy of expansion. And when we look at Jupiter right now, Jupiter is in Taurus, just coming through that Uranus conjunction. So there's been a lot of breakdowns, right? And not in a bad way, very much more of the Tower card, the Tower falling. Now the road is clear, and now you can kind of see things from a different perspective. And today is our first full day of Mercury no longer being in retrograde, but it's going to be in shadow until about, I believe, May 13th. So there's still going to be some murkiness. And for some people who get the Mercury retrograde before and after, strap on your seatbelts. The sun is in conjunct the moon today. And so this is sun in Taurus that likes things to be very stable. Well, I would used to say that. This is a sun in Taurus that has had some really deep changes about how they define stability and what they want and what's important to them. And this, in conjunction to the moon in Sagittarius, is calling for us to all rearrange, redecide, reconsider, or apply the things that we learned in the Mercury retrograde with where we are now and in the future. That's where that long view comes into play. Like, okay, somebody might be acting out of pocket, but where do you want to be in 5 years? You don't want to be where you are right now. And some people are going to be where they are right now in 5 years. And if you're not planning on being one of those people, move accordingly. We do have a sexy quadrant with the Chiron, and this is leading to like attention really about your emotions. There is an opportunity for healing here. And yes, there are some bridges that have to be burned, or there are some bridges that have to be redesigned, or there's some bridges that need to be updated, right? It's not necessarily burn it all to the ground right now. It is very much about nuance. And nuance may not be Sagittarius's best thing, right? When you're taking that long view, you do just see the sweeping pictures, but it is important to remember the details at play here. Now, we do have a beautiful sextile with Pluto. This is one of my favorite aspects because this is where you can have this understanding about the unseen, about who you are, about what's hidden beneath the surface. And in meeting with the moon in sextile is saying, okay, well, let this be a factor, not in a way that limits you, but in a way that can expand you. And I usually don't talk about asteroids, right? But we do have a couple asteroids where there is this energy of wanting to control and restrict that actually isn't going to take you to where you want to go. And also there's another asteroid that's giving the invitation to be creative and intuitive. And so again, we're being called to have this balance with all of the parts of ourselves, which can be a messy process, but it's certainly worth the practice. So let yourself do a little bit of what you can in every little way, right? Allow yourself to take that long view and adjust your plans accordingly. You are not the same person you were certainly even yesterday, certainly not who you were a year ago. And so make sure every other system in your life, including your long-term dreams, reflect that. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.